Good afternoon. My name is Marquise Fleming, and this is my internal analysis of Apple. To start, Apple is a multi-billion-dollar company that develops electronics and computer software such as the MacBook, the iPhone, and the iPad. Recently, Apple was known to be a trillion-dollar company, but due to share loss, it's been bumped back down to a multi-billion-dollar company. Apple was founded on April 1st, 1976 by Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Williams. The current CEO of Apple is Tim Cook, and he's been there since 2011. Apple's strengths. Apple is well known for being a very innovative company in the technology industry for its product lines, such as the Apple Watch, the iPhone, the iPad, and the MacBook. Apple generates a good amount of its income from streaming services such as Apple TV, Apple Music, and the most recent Apple Arcade. The company also has been able to develop a massive following of die-hard Apple fans. It's either Apple or nothing with them. Apple's weaknesses. The company has always been surrounded by major controversies, such as their scrutiny for outsourcing labor to China, and also for offshoring bank accounts to avoid paying taxes. Apple's prices are also too high for low-income consumers. Apple's products are also not universally compatible with other products. For instance, if you want to charge your iPhone, you have to use a specific Apple charger. Instead of being able to use the universal USB Type-C charger that everyone else uses, you have to use that specific charger. Now here's a video clip of Apple's controversies.
This is where your iPhone 6 comes from. These are the first secret pictures from inside the factories that produce for Apple. An exhausted workforce. People sleeping on their breaks, others falling asleep as they work. In 2010, after 14 workers killed themselves at another factory producing iPhones, Apple published promises to protect workers. So have things changed? Our undercover reporters got jobs through agencies, and within minutes, Apple's rules were broken. Everyone in China needs to carry an ID card. Our workers' card has been taken.
They said they needed to see my ID. When they got it, they didn't return it to me. I demanded that they return it. I felt helpless.
They came to work at Pegatron, where iPhones and iPads are assembled. They have to pass a crucial health and safety exam. They will. The answers are chanted out. And they're offered a choice, whether they want to work nights or do work standing up. But there's no choice.
He said if you don't do what the company asks you to do, what is the point of employing you here?
Apple told us they've seen no evidence of coaching. On ID cards, Apple says they've done more than any company to prevent the widespread abuse of migrant workers. Once in, our reporters were overwhelmed by the workload. Shifts have overtime built in, so workers regularly do more than 60 hours a week, more than Apple's guidelines. And so workers rested when they could. This iPhone 6 testing area has virtually no one awake. Apple says they'll examine sleeping during production, but napping on breaks is not unusual.
Apple has been championing itself as a perfect enterprise, but it is all a facade. I don't think they care about the workers at all.
Pegatron, who run the factory, say they are carefully investigating the BBC's claims and will take all necessary actions. Apple say they work with suppliers to prevent excessive overtime and that no other company is doing as much to ensure fair and safe working conditions. What we found were broken promises on the iPhone factory floor. Richard Bilton, BBC News, Shanghai.
As you can see, Apple does have some improvement. But with improvement comes opportunities. One of those opportunities is there's a great opportunity for smartware. Recently, the way society is driven, everything is technology. So now, Apple Watches, AirPods, that's a great market for it now. Another opportunity is that the company is able to go through in streaming services. Again, such as Apple TV, Apple Music, and Apple Arcade. Apple has an opportunity to move into the eco-friendly market by recycling old iPhones, recycling old pieces and old chips they used to make those phones. Along with opportunity also comes threats. A major threat to Apple is that they have consistent competition, especially from companies like Samsung, Netflix, and Google. Another threat to the company is lawsuits. Most recently, Apple had to settle in court for $500 million to consumers that used old Apple products. A major threat to the company must face is the recent COVID-19 outbreak, which most people and most businesses have already had to deal with now, especially with workers having to move from the office to home. Dates of products are starting to get pushed back. Intended strategy. In 1976, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak had a vision to enhance computers, giving them the ability to fit into consumers' homes and offices. Emerge strategy. Starting in the mid-1980s, the company's focus seemed to shift from computer building to computer software development. This showed to be a real successful transition with the deal of Adobe Software and by acquiring Steve Jobs' company, Next Software, and to later on make a deal with Bill Gates and Google. Realize strategy. Apple had decided to take over and revamp the technology industry. The company started expanding to music services, development of phones, Apple TV, and the emergence of wearable technology, such as the AirPods and the Apple Watch. These are my sources. Thank you for watching.